A lot of the people in the Baghdad Bureau were moving to Kabul, and they asked if there was anybody who wanted to volunteer for Baghdad. And so I'm going to Iraq. Iraq is kind of off people's radar screens here, but we still have 120,000 soldiers there.
It's often hard to find documentaries, but search this one out. Page 1, inside the New York Times. It tells not only the story about that newspaper, but the state of local coverage and many other things as well. Andrew Rossi made it, and when I met with him, I asked about the current state of documentaries.
I believe that documentaries are still thriving. There was a little bit of a lull. I guess 2008, 2009, there was really a contraction across the independent film world. But docs are back in a way that we saw sort of at the beginning of the decade. And, you know, there's never been more exciting films out there. I mean, even, you know, indeed in this current season, you have Buck that's being released and Project Nim. Cave of Forgotten Dreams has grossed over $3 million. That's Werner Herzog's movie.
Well, that begs the question, because, I mean, documentaries, of course, have always been screaming for more outlets. What's that situation like currently?
That's interesting. I mean, you know, our distributor, Magnolia Pictures, puts a lot of their films on demand. They make them available on cable at the click of a button. And that's really been, I think, a trend that is growing. And one of the interesting things about our release, it's Magnolia Pictures and Participant Media.
Which means
it's a co-distribution, and Participant, they produce an Inconvenient Truth and Food Inc. And Waiting for Superman, other tremendous documentaries that have a sort of social action component in their release. And so we're really trying to draw a lot of attention to, you know, the crisis that's afflicted print journalism and newspapers.
Which is how your documentary begins.
The movie, you know, picks up at a point when many great newspapers have either gone bankrupt or gone online only. The New York Times, in fact, has gone through 2 different series of layoffs. That's the moment that we started shooting. We felt it was important to give people a front row seat inside of an organization that does original reporting, boots on the ground reporting.
Thank you very much. This has been very interesting.
Thank you so much. It's really it's a pleasure and an honor to be here with you, Patrick.
I came with the high hopes of staying for 1 year. I've overstayed that by 20 years.
Flicks with Patrick Stoner explores the craft of filmmaking that is aired on public television stations and enhances our culture in this community and around the country.